to sound like I'm hounding on Kyna and Lores because obviously they made it this far. They are playing very well. They're extremely strong players. There's a reason that we've had Kyna and Lores talked about on the pre-show and this deep in brackets so many times, but they're not playing like themselves today. They're playing well, of course, but they're not playing like themselves. Everything just kind of seems off for them, from the individual gameplay to the team gameplay. This one's starting off pretty good. Neuz is getting handled a little bit by Kyna, but we'll see if that continues through this first stock.
Oh, May not going to be able to get in on Kyna. Kyna with a quick little tune down. Neuz going to be stuck off stage looking for a way to go in on Lores. Get a bit of space, but not going to be so lucky as Kyna cleans up that stock off of Neuz, sending May off stage from whence she came. Let's see if they'll be able to knock her off stage yet again. Kyna looking for something off that neutral lane. Nice side light. Looking for the downer.
Okay.
You have to be careful being above speed.
Being above spear. Let's see if we can get this full team wipe or not. Okay, there's the side signature to kind of start things off.
Nice.
There's another side signature. This one's coming out from May. She's been doing such a good job with that signature, almost making it look like the old glory days of Val. And Neuz is going to fall on final stocks here. This game, Lores is doing a great job surviving. That really wasn't the case before. He was the one who oftentimes found himself on final stock while his teammate Kyna was still on first.
Oh no, and Neuz getting
Lores,
bullied
yes sir!
stage. Oh, Lores said, hey, you know what I've got that you don't? I have an extra stock. It's 3 stocks to 1. You know what that means. I'm going to take you down with me, baby. And now it's a 2v1. It's 5 stocks to 1. 4 stocks to 1. Excuse me, I can't do math.
This is Stringer Bell saying, I want you to put the word out that we're back up. Kyna and Lores are back up here as May is going to fight the 1v2 of her life. That beautiful stage spike with the recovery off of the 45-degree angle, so it still ends up sending her down. She is getting destroyed by this red team. The weapon toss, the neutral light, not letting her land. Oh, kind of almost spaced that down light, or that down light perfectly. The KO comes out, it goes to Kyna, and okay, we were talking about during the break, like not feeling the way Lores was playing. 4 KOs, 616 damage.
He woke up, but I have one thing to say here.
Tell me.
And that is what happened on Neuz's second stock. It was one, I will say it, poor decision that was made, which is I am going to go off stage unarmed against, I believe, Lores with the bow in hand. I'm going to find that downer, and then guess what? That downer wasn't enough to close out that stock. Lores made it back on, found that sider, and then Neuz ended up losing that stock way too soon, only into the orange, and then Lores was like, oh, that's cool. 3 stocks to 1, and then won another offstage engagement by taking out a stock of his own as well. It was all because of that one poor decision that ended up resulting in May being left in that 2v1 situation. It happens. It just shows the volatility of platform fighting, the volatility of twos, and the reliance that a teammate can have for that one situation not to transpire.
All of the variables that, oh dude, Neuz, no way! With the swap onto Scarlet, taking all of the things that Scarlet could potentially have in her kit, he's like, nah, I'm just gonna mess him up with straight hands. Taking out that stock like in yellow a few seconds into the game. Oh my gosh.
He says I have those too. Neuz says that he's got those too, and that he's able to go out there so deep. Kyna try to make it back on. May gonna be going out there as well, looking for the finisher. Oh, I love this. I love the passion behind it.
Neuz and May lost that last game, and they're like, and I took that personally. And Neuz came out the gate swanging and banging. Okay, that's enough to KO. We also still need to look at the top right of the screen and understand the context here of it's 5 stocks to 4. Now it's 4 stocks to 4, and Tara.
This is just an exact swap of the last game.
We're back to the 3-1 for Kyna and Lores. That's not what we want to see here.
This is not what was anticipated at all. So the question is, Kyna, how will you stay in play to save your teammate? If your teammate goes down now, you both will go down. That's going to be Kyna's first stock gone. Okay, now let's see what they'll do to Lores. Nice little stage spike there. Going out there through the pogo, staying nice and safe, has to come back on nice and high. I like that, just getting behind the teammate.
Oh, Lores. Okay, he did a great job. Like initially, while Kyna was knocked out, Lores like immediately was like dash landing across the stage to get over there as quick as possible, over onto the wall. You saw May push over. He got past May. Then Neuz came over with the telegraph side signature. Lores was able to get behind that, maintain the main platform control, while also putting out some hitboxes and ultimately coming out on top in that edge guard situation.
Ooh, Kyna's been messing up May for a little bit. Finally finding a down of her own. Gets launched off stage. Neuz gets that side, gets Kyna off stage as well. What's going to be the situation? It's going to be the ground pound coming on out. May going to be knocking Lores out of play. 3 stocks to 1. This is so doable for kind of both sides, actually, depending on how May plays here. But now, 3 stocks to 1. It's a 2v1. Do they have those combos?
Absolutely. I 100% believe they do. Neuz being a little cheeky over the edge. You see him dash landing all across the stage, giving him very quick movement speed. He also had that sort of like fadeaway neutral light as he was moving, sliding off the main platform. May being the one to chase in the air. They're definitely trying to set up for this combo. There is a weapon spawn on the field, but Kyna's doing a good job of being like all the way on the far right or all the way on the far left so that they can't set up that sandwich opportunity.
Oh no, May didn't pick up a weapon. Neuz,
oh dude.
Get in there, and that's going to be the side of that was so fortunate. That situation almost flipped on its head.
I thought Kyna was going to pick up after that neutral light that Neuz put out on May, and I thought he was going to get the stock off of that, and I was like, okay, then we really got a game, because Kyna can be really nasty.
But I gotta say, I love the way that Game 2 opened off.
Game
2 opened off in such a poetic way. It was the exact same thing that happened to the blue team in Game 1.
Yep.
That is what happened to Neuz, and you said, hey, I'm sick of it. I've had enough. I've had enough of you stuff. Going into Game 3, let's see how it's going to open. Kyna, so aggressive already, latching onto May. Finally able to get a bit of space, but not before taking some damage. And again, another offstage situation. Is it like this all the time with SA?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, kind of. Yes, this is what, like, back when South America wasn't, like, one of the best regions and was just, like, the most entertaining region, this is what the gameplay was like. This is why we like to watch South America. Not because they were the best, but because they always gave us a fun show. Neuz almost went down low, but was still able to get back over to that wall. No major edge guard came out. May was doing a great job of fighting both members of the red team away. That oh, okay.
Oh, Neuz is just being so patient, just waiting, biding his time and says, my teammate is back here to help me. Sweet, love to see it. Okay, going out there so deep. Neuz is still going to be able to make it back. That angle was just side to side. Oh, I'm surprised Kyna didn't find a follow-up.
I think Kyna's just like doing his best to manage all the chaos and not playing necessarily like in top kind of form. Not quite as able to do that as we're used to. Good save though from Lores, and they turn that into a stock. See if they can turn it into another, and they do. And all of a sudden, Dara, we're looking at 6 stocks to 3, 6 or 5 stocks to 3. We'll see if they're able to clean up Lores here. Again, he's going to go over onto the wall. A little bit of team damage coming out. That side air from Neuz makes contact with May, and she's actually running away from Lores, despite him being the one very much in the red because she's on final stock.
Yeah, you got to make sure that you're taking as little damage here as possible. Neuz, it is time to frontline. It's time to pull a fast one. May going out there looking for the jump call out, but needed to fast fall to actually get anywhere in time. Kyna waiting, looking for the recovery off stage. Didn't find anything quite yet. Looking for it yet again here. Huge hits, unfortunately hitting your own teammate. And look at May's damage. Look at May's angle. May is off stage. How do you make it back on? It's so dangerous.
Lores disengaging from that D-light that ended up picking up his teammate, and he actually fast fell down and did the recovery in the attempt to counter the counter punish that could have come from Neuz while he was attempting to save his teammate. Now Neuz in the 1v2 just lost his second stock, now on final. He's looking at 4 stocks for Kyna and Lores. He's trying to push on Kyna as much as he possibly can, take him into the sky, able to land as well and grab that weapon.
Oh, that's going to be it. That's the downer and the sider, unfortunately, on his own teammate. Neuz getting that final sider. You know what? I love the idea. Wanted to get the sider and the chase dodge up to potentially touch the stage. Didn't work out that way. Wow. This was quite the game, wasn't it?
Yeah, things are going back and forth. It's these massive swings back and forth. Again, it's like that 3-0 and 0-3 that we talked about earlier today. Was that in our first set of... of South America. I can't remember which teams we were talking to, or we're talking about. But it was in a community tournament where like Team A went 3-0 over Team B, and then the next time they fought in that same tournament, Team B went 3-0 over Team A. So we're seeing these massive swings back and forth, and it's really hard to predict where it will ultimately end up. But we are seeing a massive change coming out from May and Neuz.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. So we're seeing May locked into the Brawlhalla, and we're seeing Neuz on the Queen 9. The Queen 9 going to be making, finally, a return to the stream.
Now, this is, of course, after some low damage numbers came out from the blue team last game, 229 from May and 375 from Neuz. So they're hoping this radical change, of course, going over from the Val onto a low defense legend like the Brawlhalla, that could be a little bit scary. Now, this map is a big one, so it does have a very high ceiling if we're talking about taking off the top, so that lower defense isn't quite as bad, but the higher defense legends, okay.
Neuz.
Really
okay.
do survive for a long time unless you're dealing with a Queen Nai who has all of that strength, and of course it was that signature that did the KO.
Such good recognition. May was like, okay, I'm going to let go of Kyna for a second. I'm going to go focus on Laura's back onto the stage here, going out there looking for the recovery save, and May ended up losing her own stock through that commitment as well. That is one of those situations where it's like, you have to hit this now. Otherwise, you not only let your teammate get KO'd, but you also put yourself off stage for free, and the red team more than happy to fully capitalize off of it. So a little bit unfortunate, but look at those spikes.
Dude, no! This is the exact outcome that I was about to talk about. Yeah, it looked like the blue team was so far behind. It looked like it might have all been lost, but then it was like, okay, well, Lores might be taken out here, and he was. Neuz is going in huge, major commitments, still able to get back. Somehow the person with like some of the least defense in the game is doing one of the best jobs surviving. Like Kyna's doing a great job, and May is doing a great job as well, right as she gets taken off the top. And all of a sudden we have a different game, but we could see the same thing happen yet again where Lores just gets focused.
Indeed. The weak link is going to be not, of course, Lores as a player, but the amount of damage that has been dealt. That is the win condition here. Set up the 2v1, set up the 2v1. The recovery sets up the juggle. Now, Neuz is just going to be looking for a way to catch that landing, and that's going to be it. 2 stocks to 1, or 2 players to 1, excuse me. But it has immediately become a 1v1 because of that trade.
And this is a very interesting game here. We have like the best 1v1er in all of South America. It's Kyna, but it's not on the main legend that he's been winning 1v1s with. That was that Taros. We rarely see Queen Nais in 1v1, and we even rarely see it this deep in a tournament.
But look at Neuz. Everything that Neuz just went for ended up connecting. Every single dodge read, every single turnaround, waiting. Oh my goodness, going for the biggest commitment of all. Kyna backing off here, looking for the downer, chase dodging to cross up, delighting in the wrong direction, and gets sent off stage. Nice, gentle, slow return onto the stage. The neutral air comes out. Neuz using up that dodge, finally back online. Neuz wants it too bad. Neuz is too hungry.
But it's D-Sig. That's one of the safer signatures. If he goes for like a neutral signature, then he's being crazy, okay? His dodge is burned. He goes for the ground pound. He kind of had to bet it all on like 2 options there. Either he goes for the ground pound to secure the game, or he goes for the down air, which would have been the safer option. Might not have set him up immediately for the victory, but it would have gotten that wall touch. And it might have put him in a safer spot as he down airs into the wall, rides that down, maybe hop under the stage for just a second before moving back into that push-off column, touching the wall, and resetting your jumps as well.
So there were 2 signatures.